Dating evolved out of a courtship ritual where young women entertained gentlemen at home under the watchful eye of a chaperone. It finally caught on with the poor whose homes were not suitable for dating at the turn of the 20th century. Dating then went from hanging out in public to hanging out in someone's back seat. From the front porch to the back seat was the expression mostly used. The hookup phenomenon has been traced back to the 1960s and the 1970s, where male and female students were thrown together in dorms where they had unrestricted access to each other. People are less likely to hook up after leaving college, but it is catching on among young working adults, mainly because of the internet and social networks.
Stay home and eat all the freaking chips, Kip.
LaPointe, don't be jealous that I've been chatting online with babes all day.
The new goal is to have fun, not marriage. The idea used to be that you date someone and then the sexual acts follow. But in hookup era, sometimes sexual things happen and then the decision on whether to date or not comes after. Careers and social lives are now being prioritized over marriage. Because of this, women, along with men, are more empowered than ever, but not without consequence. People are no longer understanding intimacy as much as they used to. Having a family is no longer the ultimate goal, but rather a partnership which is made easier through the help of social networks such as Tinder. Media plays a huge impact in contemporary American society. More often, we see hookup culture being unrealistically portrayed. Throughout the years, we witness the changes occurring in hookup culture through the means of various platforms such as movies, which seem to have a bigger influence in our society in comparison to other types of media. Dirty Dancing, about two young adults sharing an intimate connection through dancing, which American society deems to be nothing more than an innocent, fun, and sexy act. 10 years later, things start to get more intense, as shown in the movie Titanic, where a romantic chase leading to a relationship is present, but not without a subtle hint of sex. In 2004, we have The Notebook, in which the audience is enticed with romantic scenes. These scenes, however, divert the audience's attention from the fact that the movies being made from this time period and on are becoming more provocative. In the early 2000s, we see a change in American society as they start to lose interest in romance. Before, people would beat around the topic of sex, but now it's the focal point of the conversation. A good example is the movie Friends with Benefits, about two young, hardworking adults with no time to spare for romantic relationships, ultimately leading them to hooking up with no strings attached.
Whoa, whoa! I don't know what you're doing. I can't see you putting on your black underpants. Jamie, baby, I missed you. Oh, baby. Did your boobs get bigger?
Mom. The movie perpetuates the idea that casual sex with no intimacy is acceptable. From this perspective, hooking up makes sense. It allows for minimal commitment and an abundance of physical pleasure. It also allows contact with the opposite sex without having to pay for dates or gifts and deal with emotions. Reports show, however, that most men buy into hookup culture because of the following reasons. Other people are doing it: peer pressure, loneliness, and intoxication. Because of the double bind, when men show emotional weakness, they tend to be policed by their peers, or by the girls they're in relationships with, as if to say that having feelings makes them look soft or weak. When we interviewed people, we also found that the majority of them admitted that although sex was pleasurable at the time, it didn't necessarily satisfy feelings of loneliness in the long run.
Oh, oh. Oh my god.
Go forth, my son. You're a man now.
To men, hooking up mostly served the purpose of proving their masculinity and self-worth to those around them and themselves.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Say, it looks to me like you had sex last night.
I sure did.
Sounds like you're living your best life.
Hey, girl. Hey, looking good. Feeling good.
Amber, hey.
Today, women have greater options in contraceptives, such as Plan B birth control pills and condoms, that are easily accessible to them. Women can now freely hook up without the worry of getting pregnant and having a child, with different choices in protection. However, slut-shaming still happens today, and we see this through the media and society. Women who attempt to pursue random sexual relationships tend to be called names and talked about poorly by their peers. Researchers and online surveys have found that when it comes to sexuality, women are judged more harshly than men.
It's a waste. Isn't it a waste of your time?
Waste of my motherfucking time.
It's a waste of his time.
Wanna know why? I'm too much of an individual for that shit. I only got time for me. If she's worth it, I still don't care.
I'd rather, you know what? I like hookups. You know why, bro?
Why?
Fuck mad bitches. Dating is mad, like,
Too much drama.
much drama, bro. Like,
Hookups all the way.
yo,
Nobody taking the time to get to know each other anymore. So I feel like that's pretty much dead.
So is the idea that that's not happening, that dating is dead, as Kiyama said, is that true or not true?
I agree that you might perceive it as dead. I don't think that's necessarily bad. I think sometimes we put it on a hierarchy of, oh, sex has to mean something to you, when if it doesn't and you're just want to have sex, that's
Hookups because you can just like fuck them and like never talk to them again. But if you're dating them, you have to talk to them again. Like girls just suck.